Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a fun-filled Friday. And you know what? It's definitely going to be fun as we have O'Nell Agossa on the show, coming from Canada, but also I met him in South Africa, y'all. Amazing author of this book that is Curiosity and Me. So we're going to be talking about how he's explored the topic of curiosity in his book. And I'm really grateful to have him joining us via the link in this virtual opportunity. So, of course, I'm always glad when you also join us, audience. You know, thank you so much for tuning in. And this is a perfect time for you to tag the show and help us grow. Just share it with others who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness we work to give you here on the Day with Trae. And of course, if you can't watch us, you can always listen to us as well, anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find us there. Now, before I get into it with O'Nell, I got to say, you know, the exploration of childlike imagination is something that I've really been working to incorporate in my life as a daily practice. You know, meditation partnered with visualization is really what manifestation is all about. And there's so many books and people speaking about manifestation, but what's beautiful is there are ancient practices that really help to guide you when you are new to that understanding and when you want to learn more about how to achieve the things that you are looking to achieve in your life. The beauty is that there are some real special ancient techniques that have worked for many years, thousands of years, that now we have access to. And that's something that I have been doing in my life, y'all. And of course, if you're interested in this, there is a whole Kemetic guided meditation system that is available to the public. You can check out kemeticlegacy.com. That's KAMITIC legacy.com. This is a great way for you to tap into that spiritual power you have within you and learn through guided courses and meditations and amazing lectures that help you understand exactly how to utilize this energy. So when I think of curiosity, I think of the ways that when we get older, we just stop using our imagination as much as, you know, we should. Like, we could do so much more if we just explored our imagination like we were children again. And I'll say this, we're constantly imagining whether we know it or not, right? We're visualizing things that we're about to do, right? We're about to go into that job interview. I'm seeing myself like talking to, you know, someone who's going to be across from me. How am I looking? What kind of outfit am I wearing? You know, when we think about the ways that we use visualization, we use it all the time. We're imagining scenarios all the time, either before they occur or sometimes we're playing things back in our mind. So there are definitely some things that we can do to explore that more as adults. And I'm looking forward to talking with O'Nell right after the break and learning more about how his book encourages that and shares his own journey of curiosity with us. So up next, we got O'Nell Agossa joining us, and we're going to be talking all things curiosity. Stay tuned, y'all. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Washington's biggest night out for sports
is Sports Star.
Are you ready for a day of culture, creativity, and competition? The 12th annual Reign of Style event is happening Sunday, March 1st at the Seattle Center Exhibition Hall. Prepare to witness some of the Northwest's best barbers, stylists, and makeup artists throw down for the reigning stylist title and the $1,000 grand prize. We'll see you there.
Seattle Opera presents the celebrated opera, Fellow Travelers. A powerful love story with a ravishing score, Fellow Travelers is called a gay la boheme, named a critic's pick by the New York Times. Fellow Travelers evolved from book to opera to a popular Showtime TV series. Don't miss Fellow Travelers, on stage February 21st through March 1st at McCaw Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Welcome back, y'all, to the David Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we have author of Curiosity and I. Let Curiosity Guide You, O'Nell Agossa. Hi, O'Nell.
Hi, Trae. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. It's been quite a whirlwind over the past few weeks. A lot of book-related events. Just sharing a little bit about this book and being back home here in Canada. But all good. A lot of fun events. Have a book launch event next week, or in a couple of days, which is going to be nice to just celebrate with family and friends. So it's been very good, actually. It's been good.
Oh, awesome. I'm glad you can be with family as you embark on this journey of getting the book out there into the world. Tell us a bit about the background that brought you to say, this is a piece I need to write. Tell us about that journey.
No, it's quite interesting. I mean, the past 3 years for me have been quite a bit about exploration and becoming a bit open with the idea of just saying yes to whatever my heart desired and felt like doing. And I would say the opportunity to write the book came to me more than I sought that opportunity. And when it arrived and it was something that I could do, my own curiosity kind of got awakened. And I often joke and I tell people, this book is a physical manifestation of myself letting my own curiosity guide me. So that's the inspiration behind the book, just the sheer excitement about the novelty and actually committing on the journey of doing something like this that just felt like it was setting my soul on fire a little bit. I would say this, I knew I would enjoy writing. The fact that I found a lifetime passion is quite beautiful as well.
Yeah, along that journey, as curiosity was guiding you, it's great to hear that you found your love of writing. But this book right here, it's set in a very particular way. While it is kind of sharing your own journey of curiosity, tell us about what readers gain in the way that you positioned the work of curiosity in the book.
Yeah, so as you've seen in the book, curiosity is personified, and I really wanted to stress that relational element, and you have that in the title, actually, Curiosity and I. The title makes sense for me because I wrote the book, so in many ways I went on that own journey myself. But when someone else holds the book, it's almost like I view it as curiosity and you. And my perspective is this book is an amazing opportunity, I hope, for any and every reader to redefine their relationship with their own curiosity. And the reason I personified curiosity was to give that opportunity for every single person who pick up the book to go on this adventure with a personified version of curiosity and discover for themselves where they are with their curiosity and what it would mean for them to intentionally practice curiosity in their own circumstances. So that's really what I hope people get out of this book.
Yeah, when we think about curiosity, it can go a lot of different ways, right? Because oftentimes, when people think of what curiosity actually is, it's some type of thing in the mind where, you have the desire or the interest in something, or you want to learn something or know something, right? And so there's a lot of different ways that curiosity can be explored. Tell us a bit about how it was for you in your journey and how it's depicted in the book.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting because there are a lot of research in behavioral science that looks at what curiosity actually is. You could use more specific, scientific terms. You could say epistemic curiosity, for example, which is just literally the dopamine rush you get when you're able to kind of solve a puzzle, find an answer to the question that you wanted. A lot of adults would go a lot more after that because it's a lot more rational. And it's more, I'm curious about how this works. Let me actually go get the information and close the gap in information that I have. You have perceptual curiosity, which is something that a lot of children actually experience. For example, think about the first time you realize your parents could lie and actually that they're doing it on purpose. So perceptual curiosity is about the information, and what I thought I knew about the world around me has completely been shattered by new information. And now I'm kind of forced to be curious about what does that mean from my vision of the world. So that's kind of the behavioral science side of things. I took a slightly different approach where what I was hoping for the reader to view is that curiosity is actually a companion, a guide, almost like a voice that is there with you at all time, but also that curiosity is a practice. And through the book, we explore curiosity towards self, so inward curiosity, and curiosity towards the world and other people, so outward curiosity. And at the end of the day, for me, what I'm hoping they get out of this relationship with this personified version of curiosity is that to be curious about yourself, to be curious about the world and people around you is a lifelong practice that we need to embrace. And as we do that, we get better over time.
Yeah, this is really great. Thank you for breaking down the various versions of it. And it's interesting because, a lot of folks don't know that, right? Like don't understand the nuances of curiosity and how it's looked at from a behavioral science perspective. So I really appreciate you uplifting that. But also too, what's interesting to me is that, there's a way that people are now receiving this work. Being curious about what you actually put in this book. Tell us how it's been to connect with communities and bring this book out to other folks and get that feedback from them about why they're excited to read it, or if you've had anyone who has read it and has been able to share their perspective with you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's been probably the most amazing thing that I've received in terms of just feedback of something that I've done. When you write, you have an aspiration, and my aspiration was never a number of copies to be sold, right? I will give this work as much attention and effort so that it can get in the hands of as many people as possible, because I do think it has an interesting and powerful message, and I know there's something good that could come out of this for anyone who reads it. But when I was writing the book, my whole goal was to show up in a way that was authentic. And in the book, I present these kind of 3 principles of how to be curious, or that can help us practice good curiosity. It's that curiosity is honest, curiosity is active, and curiosity compounds. And I had to follow the same principles as I was writing the book. So to get real feedback from real readers, I remember a week after the book came out, someone messaged me and say, "Hey, I just started reading the book. It's been a few chapters, but I just want to say thank you for the honesty, the level of vulnerability and relatedness that the way you write really brings out of my own experience. I see a lot of myself in this book. I'm able to actually step in the shoes of the protagonist." And that meant a lot. Another one of my friends said, I actually had no issue with my relationship with curiosity. I could actually quite define that. But what I didn't have was proper language to actually interact with my own curiosity. And that person said, the book gave me language to be able to do that. And as any author would love to receive, the biggest compliment is, I will definitely read this book again. and then to say, he said, because although I finished the book, I don't think the book is finished with me. So to receive comments like that as an author, when I know where my heart was at every single day that I showed up to write this piece of work, is an amazing blessing. And it's just all about gratitude. And it just pushes me to feel that much more happy about the fact that I followed my own curiosity, because in many ways I can bring some of my gift to the world and hopefully inspire others to do the same.
I'm so grateful that we connected while I was in South Africa. It's beautiful to hear how people are receiving this work that you have done, this book, because, I was excited to get my copy, right? And really, for me, there's a journey here that is explored that, as you said, you really put it in the hands of others to explore their own journey with curiosity. And
Right.
for me, there was this reflection period of realizing, when have I been the most curious in my life, right? And so much of that has been like, I wanted to understand like spiritual principles and different practices. And that was a part of my life that has now become such a staple of my life. The curiosity of that, like it helped me reflect back on my own journey, because sometimes you don't identify pieces of your own story
Right.
as opportunities where you were curious, right? And it took you on this specific journey. It took you down, and you look back and it's like, wow, I've been on this journey for 10 plus years and didn't realize like it was because I was curious. So I really couldn't wait to talk to you to share that, because it was such a great reflection. And that is, a testament to how you've written this work, where it allows people to go back and have those moments where they're identifying curiosity in their own lives. And then it was like, oh, wow, there is, an exception of curiosity at some point in your life where you say, I'm going to be curious about this next thing. It was like, okay, what's my next journey of curiosity look like for me? So, O'Nell, I have to thank you for that, because it was really special to, take in your work and remember and reflect on my own life.
My heart is full of gratitude and love. Thank you. This means a lot to hear. And I think for me, to your point, that's exactly what curiosity is about, and why I think it's such a powerful guide and principle to use in life. True, honest curiosity, what I love about it is that it pulls you back to the present moment. And at the end of the day, the present moment is the space where everything happens. And when we are curious, we learn to become aware of the changes that are happening each and every moment inside of us. And for me, that's life. Right. And you don't want to miss on that. And I think for many of us, because we're running from one thing to the next, or we're so caught up sometimes on the milestones and getting to a certain point, we often forget the most important part, which is the journey. I'm not saying outcomes aren't important. Have goals, have outcomes, but really true curiosity will help you observe every single moment of that journey. And for me, that's where most of the value lies. So that's also something I'm really hoping a lot of the readers are able to reflect on a little bit as they read this book.
Well, it's great to hear you say that too, because I think you've put so much in there that allows the exploration of this. In some cases, it's like, do I have a pathway to be curious? And it encourages the readers to really explore those pathways. To your point, I think so many folks, especially in adulthood, we get, on our jobs, we have our families, we get into these routines that oftentimes don't open up opportunities for us to dive into that curiosity. But what's great about the exploration of it is when you do find things along the journey. So I appreciate you really uplifting that it's about that journey and not necessarily a destination, right? Which in most cases, if you're truly exploring curiosity, you have no idea what that destination even is. And so it's every single moment of the journey that really makes it what it is. And that was something that I experienced. So I appreciate you saying that. And I love that you already have that as something you're looking forward to, for the reader, because the way that you positioned it allows people to do that. It allows them to have that self-exploration. So that's why I opened up talking about imagination, because I want to ask you that connection between curiosity and imagination. Have you thought of that as well?
Yeah, and I think that's how, this book is kind of part fiction, part memoir, right? So if you look about the structure of the book, I almost use fiction as the canvas on which I could paint both fictional elements and kind of that imagination piece and real life stories. And the real life stories are obviously based on some of my own experiences and people that I've met along the way. But I've never wrote the book to say, read about stories of my life, me, O'Nell, because it's so interesting that you need to. No, it was more about selecting specific pieces of story that I think spoke to very specific human experiences, human emotions, thoughts, feelings that I would say pretty much anyone in our shared humanities have experienced: fear, grief, pain, love, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And those stories help move forward the narrative plot as well, because you do have a protagonist, which I hope the reader can step into and become quite early on. And then they go on this journey with curiosity. And that's where I wanted to have a bit of fun, right? It's like, does curiosity, number one, can curiosity actually have a voice, a personality, something that we can get attached to properly, as opposed to a nebulous concept? And when I was doing the research, you find very quickly the expression "curiosity killed the cat." But I think there's a second part to that sometimes most people don't know, which is curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. So when I read that, I was like, I want to play on that a little bit because it is well known. It is an interesting idiom that we've had for a very long time. So I decided, you know what, curiosity will be, for the most part, in an animal form, and will be a cat. And what I wanted, the reason I took an animal form is because it just felt a bit more mystical, right? And it felt more appropriate for this concept that, to your point, is quietly steering us at the back of our lives, our decision, our non-decision, but we're not always aware of that. So that's why curiosity became a cat. And as you've seen through the book, it can also change different forms here and there. And the reason I decided to do that is because there is an overarching theme in the book around the concept of curiosity, which is almost the universal law is that everything changes. Everything is in constant movement, and we are too. And to be really curious is actually, or at least curious towards self, is to observe that change and be an active participant of that change. So it was fitting that curiosity, for example, could change also along the way in terms of form. And throughout the book, the protagonist and curiosity are in what they call the inner realm. And that inner realm, I gave it no boundaries and went full fiction, because I think that's what curiosity is about. It's about exploration. It's about imagery. It's about metaphor. And I really wanted to give myself full reign to create that and make that part of the book for the reader.
Wow, O'Nell. I mean, you put so much thought into this, and I'm truly grateful. It's works like this that really help to push us forward as a collective. As people read this, they start exploring it. They understand that there are these nuances in their own lives that they can dive deeper into just by having the opportunity to sit back and experience what you have written. So there's so much here, so much richness. Of course, folks are going to want to know how they get the book and how they can explore their own curiosity journey. Let them know.
Yeah, I mean, Curiosity and I is available worldwide on Amazon. That's the easiest way to find it. You can just type, my name, O'Nell Agossa, Curiosity, and I, let curiosity guide you. It's an amazing book. The cover looks a little bit like a journey. You can see it here. That's the best way to get it. And most importantly, what I would say, Trae, is for me as an author, I want to learn. I want to hear back from people. So if anyone who's listening to this actually pick up this book, it's not that hard to find me online, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever that is. But don't be a stranger. You would be surprised by how much it means for someone to hear back from you about their work. That would mean the world for me. So not only get the book on Amazon, but most importantly, if you feel like it, please, if your curiosity pulls you to it, reach out to me. I will make time and discuss all of this with you.
Wow, that's really special that you're providing that kind of time for folks, because I'm going to tell you, be ready to get flooded, O'Nell, as long as you're ready for that, my friend. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You have truly inspired us to go on our own journeys of curiosity. I'm so grateful that you decided to really take the time, put this information in this book from your own curiosity, your personal journey, mixed with that fiction. The way that you did it is amazing. Kudos to you. And I look forward to connecting in the future with other works, or as we explore this even more, because there's ways that you could take this into the schools, into corporate places. I mean, there's a lot of applications for what you have created, O'Nell. So thank you again for all of your work. And I look forward to connecting soon.
I appreciate it. And thank you for being curious about me and giving me this platform.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. You guys, I mean, seriously, Curiosity and I, Let Curiosity Guide You. He said it's easy to find on Amazon. Make sure you get your copy today. I'm going to wrap all this curiosity talk up right after this short break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Seattle Opera presents the celebrated opera, Fellow Travelers. A powerful love story with a ravishing score, Fellow Travelers is called A Gay La Boheme, named a critic's pick by the New York Times. Fellow Travelers evolved from book to opera to a popular Showtime TV series. Don't miss Fellow Travelers, on stage February 21st through March 1st at McCaw Hall. Details at seattleopera.org.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Day with Trae. Of course, I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to O'Nell Agossa, our guest today, the author of Curiosity and I Let Curiosity Guide You. I promise y'all, I was so excited to get my copy, and it is truly an exploration that allows you to do some self-reflection on your own journey of curiosity. Oftentimes we don't think about this, y'all, and it's something that is so special. When I started making connections and realizing just how much I was like the protagonist in the book, exploring my own forms of curiosity and what that's brought to my life. So I'm encouraging y'all to make sure you get your copy today, available everywhere on Amazon. So let curiosity guide you by getting Curiosity and I, y'all. Huge shout out to O'Nell, and thank y'all so much for watching. Of course, this wraps up the week, but I'll be back with you. And until Monday at 11 a.m., y'all, peace.